Hi everyone, this is Kelly Beard of karmictools.wordpress.com, and I'm so excited about this new medium. Each week I will share with you the energy and activations that are up for that week, as well as where we are in the annual rhythm, also known as the 8 sacred seasons or the lunar cycle. The goal of my forecast is to alert you to the possibilities and give you the best ways to consciously co-create with them as an individual. You should know that my specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. My experience has been that when you are aware of the energetic possibilities, you are more likely to respond better if, when, and however they are presented. I am here to remind you that although we are all feeling the planetary movements, our individual chart ensures that our lessons and experiences are customized for our own unique soul. All that said, part of my joy and my gift is reminding you that it is all energy. In my work, you don't really need to know the astrological language. That's what you have me for. But I try to keep things in layman's terms, and I will constantly remind you to take the names and faces off and respond to everything and everyone as pure energy that you can consciously direct. And to that end, my weekly forecast is the heads up that helps you to know what energies are kicking. So let's dive into this week's forecast. This is the week of June 24 to 30, 2018. On June 25th, our first activation is Venus squaring Jupiter. This energy is a happy-go-lucky kind of energy that doesn't really want to be bothered with the mundane. However, you must not allow that passing energy to get you so off track that it costs you more than it is worth. If you don't have any pressing obligations, then this can be a fun, relaxing time, possibly with friends. However, if you have work to do, make sure it gets done first so you can truly enjoy yourself without the worry of the pile being bigger when you return. Watch the excesses as well, food, drink, or spending. On a deeper level, you may have to make some adjustments in your relationships or finances. Jupiter always reveals the excess and where we make things bigger, consciously or not. This activation usually helps us realign our true priorities with our grandest vision for the future. So Venus, our values and priorities, love, finances, relationships, squaring off with Jupiter, expansion in your consciousness. So this is where we have to rein it in a little bit, probably. Then on June 26th, Mars retrogrades at 9 Aquarius. And I actually did write a full article that was posted on my blog May 31st, Mars retrograde 2018, Freedom, Responsibility, and You. You can find it there. Here, this week's forecast just gives you a little paragraph to get you going. When Mars retrogrades, it's time to do the inner self work, to redefine what you really want and how you express the power and passion of Mars. It spends March to November 2018 in Capricorn and Aquarius. So you may feel the retrograde in whatever direction you were heading in over the last 3 months to 2 years, may now be slowed or even reversed, temporarily at least. Things that were easy may seem challenging, and things that used to be challenging may now become more simplified. Remember, all delays and detours are not necessarily bad. Pay attention to the aspects of your approach to acquiring what you desire, as well as the motivations behind your desires. What do you really want, and why do you want it? Renewal and recalibration is a regular 2-year maintenance process with Mars. Your desires and motivations change and evolve over time, so this is your opportunity to check in and tweak things accordingly. So, every 2 years, we get to upgrade who we are and what we want. And if you start co-creating with that, your actions and choices become more streamlined. Just like when you work with Venus, your values and priorities lead the way. So naturally, your relationships and finances improve. But check out the article for more details. Also on the 26th, this is Tuesday, Shanta and I are getting together for our annual summer solstice celebration. It also happens to fall so close to the Capricorn full moon that we are including that and expanding and blending all our circles. She has the light circle and the Ashram of Life circle, and I have the Venus circle and the Power circle. So for over 10 years, I have collaborated with this author, angel communicator, teacher, and mystic, Miss Shanta Gabriel. It has been an incredible journey of coming together during pivotal alignments in history, as well as the annual turn of the sacred wheel of life. Over the years, we've periodically blended our respective circles into one huge, amazing circle of like-hearted souls who gather at least 4 times a year together. You're invited to join us for the summer solstice celebration of 2018, when we will also weave in some Capricorn full moon mojo and offer our prayers to the world for all life and Mother Earth herself. This is an excellent time to get a reading from either one of us, so if you can feel the energy shifting and want to co-create more consciously, then email Shanta at shantagabriel.com or Kelly at karmictools.com. And you can register for the call on my website, karmictools.wordpress.com. It would be under the Events tab, where you will find Summer Solstice 2018. We'd love for you to join us. So the next activation falls on June 27th, and this is Sun opposite Saturn. This is another challenging one to our individual processes, but not a bad one to co-create with, really, you guys. This is an annual process of development. If you tune into it, it gets really juicy and productive. The Sun makes it personal and about you, the individual. Saturn helps move your timeline along and build the literal aspects of life, the basics of providing for yourself, food, shelter, etc., and your own personal limitations. That's all Saturn's domain. What renewed aspect of self got activated about 6 months ago? And how do you want that to fully develop over the next 6 months? This is a potent midpoint, the most powerful course-correcting time in any cycle, this one being an annual meeting between Sun and Saturn, a checkpoint between you and your responsibilities. Each year you evolve, some years more consciously than others, so this is a good time to check in with your own personal definitions of what you are or are no longer responsible for. Often this energy activates a push-pull between who you are and who you aspire to be, between what you want to do and what you have to do. My age-old advice is to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. And while that may not always be the easiest path, it is usually worth it for the peace of mind that it brings initially and the eventual tangible rewards that it brings for your dedication. You may swing between extremes of fulfilling all your obligations to the neglect of your own truth and purpose, or neglecting your obligations and doing whatever you choose, which only means that those obligations will be there when you get to them, and they will have most likely increased by the time you do. So we don't want to postpone that kind of thing. Balance is the key. Practice, there is no perfection, and it's time to practice handling business before pleasure with this particular activation. You're supported for growth and evolution, but again with those midpoints, often we hit the wall at a midpoint and ask, what are we doing? But it also is that 180-degree look back at your starting point where things are much more clear than they were maybe coming around your peripheral. So it's good to think about what's been going on in the last 6 months, which leads us to June 28th, Capricorn full moon. Very powerful time. This is your annual opportunity to release that which you no longer want to be part of your reality or responsibility. Look to what you initiated at winter solstice, that would have been December 2017, and how far you've progressed. What's working? What's not? What needs to be released? What needs to be strengthened structurally? What foundation work needs to be done to support you better going forward? The full moon is shining a light in a corner for the first time in a year, the Capricorn house of your chart, revealing any weaknesses or cracks in the foundation of your current focus. Whatever you seeded with the Capricorn new moon, January 16th, 2018, 6 months ago, has run its course, and now the full moon shows you what is solid and can be expanded on, as well as what is weak and must be fixed, replaced, or released altogether. This is the time every year when you determine what is truly feeding, nourishing, supporting, and protecting you on all levels, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Here we are reminded that often internal shifts precede external shifts. So happy Capricorn full moon. Then we have the last activation of the week is June 30th, Mercury squaring off with Uranus. So again, kind of another challenging one. It's going to be an interesting week, y'all. I'd love to hear from you and see how it's going. This energy challenges you to expand your mind or consciousness in a way, pushing you to think differently and respond to information in new ways. Think differently and respond in new ways. Uranus brings sudden aha moments, personal awareness, and radical new ideas, which is great for you adventurous souls who thrive on change and new ideas. However, if you are personally attached to your routine and things quote-unquote going as planned, then this energy can cause aggravation and tax your nervous system because things will seem sudden, even though it is more likely that they have already been brewing under the surface for some time now. You will have to adjust and be more open and mentally flexible than usual this week. You may not be able to control the excessive mental activity or information overload coming in, but hopefully you can direct it a bit. It's good to activate or clean your personal filters by taking some time in nature to process things at your own pace and generally clear your head. This can be a very inspiring and creative time, so try to tune into that, while keeping in mind that anything you begin or get into may require a review later so you can check over the details of your revelations or creations. You're just cracking the surface. This is all about the initial revelation or awakening. You will eventually have to figure out the logistics or effective choices and necessary actions that will bring your ideas into form. Still, your own unique brilliance is being stirred when these two get together. And that is the truth. This is lower mind, higher mind. This is your own ideas, thoughts, and perceptions getting pushed to grow out of that comfort zone and to be liberated ultimately. So it's not easy, but it's worth it. So the only event happening this week is our solstice call on Tuesday. So I hope you can join us. So that was the last one for this week. Before I let you go, I'd like to tell you about a couple of reading specials and subscriptions and things going on. The Astro Tarot is a reading I highly recommend. It's only $100, and it includes an MP3 of a look at your chart and what's going on right now, what cycles and patterns are being activated, and energies that are supported, and then I pull cards in a Celtic cross, which is a great broad overview. It covers a little bit of everything, and it often gives very specific advice. And often when people are doing this kind of reading, it's because they want to know what to do, how to proceed. In my world, it's all about where's the energy, what is supported at this time. So that's why we look to the cycles and patterns, and I, of course, have the ancestors as our guides, but I do open up, I connect my guides to your guides before I pull the cards. It's a really powerful reading, and it's good to do anytime you've got some serious decisions on the block or things on your mind and heart that need to be resolved and you would like to make some progress. So that one's a really good one, and it's usually in the budget. I also have a mini Venus reading right now because we're a couple of months away from a brand new Venus cycle when I do a special reading at that time that goes along with a workbook, and we initiate the new Venus circle, which is a live circle we do every month. But here it's just an introduction to Venus and your chart. It's only $75, and it includes the first 3 months of your personal activations. And what that is a custom report that I've put together as a PDF, and you would have an MP3 to introduce you to how Venus is moving through your world, how it feels, and your default settings, where Venus lives in your chart and how she's affected by the other planets in your blueprint, in your birth chart. And the PDF covers Venus moving through the sky as she touches each planet in your chart. And I've been tracking her for many, many years now, and all I can tell you is that when you co-create with Venus, relationships and finances automatically improve because the reminders are there that are validating the cues that you're already picking up, and you get that guidance on when to move, when to be still, when to open up, when to have some good boundaries. All of that is really useful information as you navigate through. And so that mini Venus introduction is $75, includes 3 months of your activations, or my seasonal readings that a lot of people do, all 8 sacred seasons, which is 4 solar holidays, winter, spring, summer, fall, and 4 lunar holidays, which are the gates of power, the midpoints in between winter, spring, summer, and fall. So, of course, most people do the 4 main seasons that they are well aware of, but all 8 are really powerful, any time of the year you can reach out for this PDF reading, and it's only $25, or you can do a $75 one that includes the PDF and an MP3. So as for subscriptions, I have the Venus Circle, which includes your activations for $25 a month, and your Venus activations you can get separately and just get your PDF each month for $10. Also, I like to put it out there right now about collaborating. I am inviting anyone and everyone to play and get together. I have done a lot of work in the virtual world, and I am looking to connect in the real world. I travel a lot all over the U.S. and abroad, and am happy to collaborate. What I've done most recently is work with retreats and yoga studios, wellness centers, and just partnering up, like what I do with Shanta. She is an angel communicator. That's very different from the work that I do in shamanic astrology or my earth medicine practice. It is something that I believe the work that I do complements any other modality. I think I can play with anybody, and I do have so much fun learning from others and teaching with others and traveling. So please reach out if you have a studio or you have a wellness center, or even just a small circle of 10 people, 10 friends that want to get together and do this. I've done that for years too. There's many private circles that I drop in on, and we discuss the energy. We get some one-on-one time, and things get done. And lately, I've been invited to do a kind of weekend with Kelly. So we'd have a Friday night fireside chat, for lack of a better term. It could be on the beach or in the city or wherever we may be, but we would get together Friday night, and then maybe Saturday and Sunday have a workshop or do some one-on-ones. I'm just totally open. So I invite you to, if you would like to collaborate, to reach out to me, Kelly, at karmictools.com. Or if you think there's somebody that would be a good complement to the work that I do, then I would love the suggestions, because I do have guests on my calls. We've had some really amazing ones lately, so I encourage you to check my website, karmictools.wordpress.com. Under the events tab are all the free calls that we've done, and there's just a plethora of information, MP3s, PDFs, and lots of good stuff right there. And of course, subscribing to my blog will allow you to get those updates immediately. There's also a free tools tab that has lots of goodies there for you to play with. And anything that I've talked about here would probably be listed under tools and offerings. So, I thank you for your time, energy, and support, now and always. And please share this with those you think would resonate, and reach out if and when you need to. Namaste.